Hello, this is Shannan Harrigan from Stockton State College and the Living in the Digital World class, my final project. I decided to do my project about the Long Beach Island Grade School. They have a program called Digging in the Dirt. The program is designed for the community and children of the school to be involved in and to learn about the basics of gardening and harvesting and eating healthier as well. The history of the program was it began with an idea from the school nurse at the Long Beach Island Grade School named Bianca Aniski, and she was inspired by Michelle Obama's, our First Lady's Healthy Eating Program, which is designed to have children increase their fitness and vegetable consumptions on their plate and to have smaller portions of food on a daily basis and incorporate more vegetables and fruits into their daily diet. There is a link on this blog that you can click onto to learn more about the White House and how they have changed their eating habits and how she has inspired others to families to eat less carbohydrates and have more fitness and more vegetables into their everyday daily dinners and lunches. And she's incorporated this program into schools and in her own home. Also, there is a new program that she began about 5 years ago at the White House where she reincarnated the White House garden, and it was totally revamped to add more vegetables and fruits, and the whole community came together and started this garden, and it did inspire other people to do it, which was one of the women at this Long Beach Island Grade School. She also was received a grant because the school couldn't afford to build this garden themselves, so she received a grant to begin this garden, and the school received $10,000, and they started a small garden. It is a very small garden. It's called the EJ Schoolyard Garden, and they're very excited to have this at the school. It's the only garden that we have on Long Beach Island in any of the grade schools. So the grade schools, there are two other grade schools on Long Beach Island that do come down to the school and work in that garden as well. A lot of the materials that are used for the garden, the dirt and some of the seeds, and are donated from local landscapers or different companies throughout the community that are interested in helping out the project. So they're able to get donations any way they can. When the garden was erected, it just there you can as you can see there are four little flower beds. They're not that big. They're raised flower beds with a fence around it to keep out any animals that they can. There's not many deer on Long Beach Island, but to keep out as many creatures as they can and to keep some of the weeds as contained as they can. They also started the garden on these rocks because they weren't able to do it in the grass. So the coordinator told me because it would get too watered down and they wouldn't be able to maintain it as well. So it makes for a lot of work because many weeds come up through the stones and they have to be picked on a daily basis, which is a lot of work for them. There's a picture here of the one of the flower gardens that has one of the beds that has some cabbage in it and some vegetables. And the garden is kept up by the school and all the volunteers that do come to water take different turns watering it night and day, especially in the summertime when it needs a lot of that. And they also received in 2011, the school received a grant for a rocket composter, and it works very well for the school. All of their extra food, extra rubbish goes into the composter, and it was very expensive, but they're still learning a lot about it, and it's working, well for them. The coordinator didn't know everything about the composter because she doesn't work in that department, but they were very lucky to get it into the school projects. And one of the main projects of the school is to go green, and they do have a rain garden, which was really exciting to see. And as it says, the goal of the rain garden is to maintain environmental habitats and raise awareness to the public and school-age children to maintain a clean habitat. And the garden was certified as wildlife habitat, and it has its own webcam, so it keeps track of a lot of things that I wasn't able to, ask for any pictures off the webcam or anything like that, or I would have been able to put it into this blog, which would have been really neat. And of course, the children were all involved with the rain garden. And here are a couple pictures that you can see of the rain garden. And the water comes down through the spout and goes into the land as I learned, goes into the land and then waters these plants on its own, which is really exciting. The definition that she gave me of digging in the dirt is a teacher created landscape design plan to utilize the schoolyard of the LBI grade school as part of a classroom experience. The grade school's main focus is on healthy eating and increased physical activity. One thing she told me about was the Fit Trail that is actually was designed and is in many parks and for fitness routines for the entire body that you can use while you're walking. You can stop and you can, in different parks, which they have here at this school, you can stop at different parts throughout the grounds while you're walking and stretch and do different things to keep your fitness on a higher level. Um, Here's another picture of the garden when it's fully grown. Well, it's fully grown here, and it says, I noticed a sign that says kindness grows here, and I thought that that was really poignant because you can see it there in the background, kindness grows here. So I didn't take the best picture, but I was saying that while I was sitting there, remember this garden is on Long Beach Island, so you can hear the ocean as well coming from a block away, and it felt very peaceful and comfortable, and I was there for, I said, the day, and I was excited to be able to, with the principal and the school coordinator, observe the children when they came out to work in the garden, because I really thought that children wouldn't be that interested in, besides being outside, that they wouldn't be interested in really working in the garden and doing those type of things, but I found out that I was wrong because children were very excited to plant seeds and to water and they asked a lot of questions, and the greatest part of it is that everything that's used in the garden, for an example, that day they were taking home the cilantro, and they were going to explain to the children how to use it and have their parents use it for dinner and to see what they did with the plants that they brought home. So I thought the kids were really excited about that, to put it into their big book bag and bring it home to their parents. And it's something that I was very surprised that they would be so into gardening. I never thought that they would be interested in learning so much about how a garden grows. So another thing that I commented on is something that I learned about the programs, is that it's more than just about this little garden that's growing. It's also about, awareness to the community and to everybody that's involved in it to eat more vegetables, eat more fruit, and to keep healthy and remember that, the earth and everything that is around us has a purpose. And I think that that's really important to teach children as well. I think that the main goal of this adventure that I was on made me think about my own way of life, and even made me think about starting to have a green thumb, which I don't think that I have, but if I could start out with a little windowsill garden or something, then maybe I could grow more vegetables for myself, because they are expensive to buy. So I I think that it was a very interesting and very worthwhile endeavor that I completed for this blog and for this final project. I hope that you enjoyed it. This was my first time that I've ever done a project like this, and recording and posting different pictures and things like that for a project. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for listening.